Give me cash, Sandra.
Goddamn Sandra.
A reflective arsehole. Diamante. I misunderstood.
God.
What an absolute butthole. Why do you even need to ask if you're an arsehole? Of course you are.
This is quite abhorrent parenting. What's your badge, prawn, huh? Here you go.
He's purring.
You're through to 1-800-DRAMA,
The show where you share your biggest dilemmas.
and we help you navigate them.
I'm Shaaba.
And I'm Jamie.
Come join us as we help people figure out if they are the drama.
Because sometimes you just need an outside perspective.
And we can all expand our own mindsets along the way.
Wait, am I the drama?
Red flag, green flag, Shaaba.
Hit me!
Mistletoe. Just mistletoe.
Ooh, just mistletoe. Do you know, I saw a really funny article about mistletoe where people are like, oh my god, the woke is ruining the traditions of Christmas because apparently this generation is not buying as much mistletoe as...
Oh, sorry, Kevin. I don't want to be assaulted at the work Christmas party.
That's what they're saying. They're like, oh, apparently the reason young people aren't buying it as much is because they just don't like the idea of like the non-consensual kisses.
Yeah.
And it's also just an unnecessary additional expense during Cosy Lives. And they're like, ugh, how dare you?
I'll sell something else.
Look, I like a good tradition. I don't have an issue at all with tradition.
Yeah.
If there's a piece of mistletoe up, sure, I'll kiss you under it.
Yeah.
But like,
Stay away, randomer.
I think it's a bit weird to blame it on woke people. That's my only problem.
It is a weird thing because it's almost saying like, oh, they don't want to be forced to be kissed and that's why there's no mistletoe. It's not just realising it's a dying tradition.
Yeah, especially because like you have to go out, the people that were talking about it were like, oh, we run this auction every year, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, go online then. Like, that is what the world is doing. You can't be mad that everything else is progressing and you're not keeping up with times, babe.
Yeah, I did see a better version of mistletoe. Missile toad.
What?
It was someone had hung a plastic toad with a missile strapped to its back from the ceiling, and it was their missile toad.
I can't tell if that's hilarious or absolutely terrible.
It's both. It's definitely both.
All right, overall though, I green flag you mistletoe. I just don't like people stoking culture wars for no reason.
I green flag if it's used appropriately, like between couples and consenting people who want to kiss each other.
Don't grope your colleagues and we're all okay, babe.
Yeah.
Green flag for you.
Red flag for groping your colleagues.
Jamie, I do believe this is our last podcast episode before Christmas. How do we feel about that?
Da, 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 da. Merry, 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 merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
For sure.
All of the
Peaches
above.
and
Have a
spuds.
wonderful festive season.
May Shrek bless you, each and every one.
I can't tell if you're Tiny Tim
I was
or
trying to be Tiny Tim.
or Rod Flanders.
Oh, Dilly.
It's the kid. No, that's Ned.
Well, what do the kids say?
Bible.
Okay. On that note, wishing you a happy holidays, a Merry Christmas if you celebrate, a lovely winter day if you do not. And,
Or a summer day if you're in a certain
true,
parts of the world.
Very true. And we will catch you on the flip side of the festivities. For now, Jamie, are you ready? Don't look at me like that. To go fishing. Assholes, let's go. Ooh, drama.
Am I the drama, Shaaba? Why are you
Always.
laughing already?
Because my head has just gone, assholes, assholes.
Oh my god.
Assholes, assholes.
We should go to a car park and you should sing that. I think that would be fantastic. I will
do like
film it and you can release it on Christmas Day. We're doing it. Am I the drama, Shaaba, for not wanting junk for Christmas?
Oh, I like your junk. What is this episode?
Do you know, as well, the first time I read this, I was like, why has Shaaba put one in called Am I the Drama for not wanking for Christmas?
Peaches, it's just been one of those days.
Moving on. Read the post, Shaaba.
OP says, every Gizmoise, my mother-in-law insists on spending a ridiculous amount of money on our family and my partner's siblings' families on what can only be described as random junk. We're talking wooden signs with clever sayings, candles and soaps. So many candles, novelty plates, cartoon pajamas, weird coloured bed sheets, small kitchen gadgets. Each couple in the family gets exactly the same thing in maybe a different colour or
Oh
pattern.
my God.
For those of you who can't see, if you're listening to this on Spotify, Apple, where all the good poddies live, please rate us, by the way. That super helps us out. Jamie's face is quite mortified at the idea of this. Would you like to explain?
It's just because it's reminding me of your mum.
No. No.
Your
mum
mum
doesn't do
from
this.
like several years ago.
She used to do
Yeah,
this.
and also nowhere near this bad. Not like spending excessively and getting the same thing for people in different colours and patterns, but just the I must buy people lots of things for Christmas and it not always being things people would want.
No, I'm not saying things that people want, but things that are just like, oh, I bought this because it made me think of you. Yeah. I think sometimes people can focus on quantity and not quality of gifts. And then, like, I think they feel bad
Yeah.
just giving you one thing.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, let me get you 6 to 10 other things
Yes.
that are quite small. And it's fine initially. And then you're like, I don't have space.
Yeah. I
can see
don't need
this.
the fourth sign that says live, love, laugh.
Sure, but can we just clarify that my mum doesn't do this anymore?
No, not anymore. And when she does it, it's like very infrequent and it's like a couple things. It's not a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah.
For sure.
She's a lot better. I was just getting the vibes. That's why I was giggling.
The kids of the families get can't say this word. Equally similar and bizarre gifts. She spends weeks shopping for the stuff and hours upon hours wrapping
Oh
gifts.
my God.
All of the gifts are mid-range in cost. So not even like Poundland stuff. They're
Yeah.
saying like, that's money. But with the quantity, 4 families, 7 kids, it all adds up. And I do mean quantity. Last year, it took 2 vehicles to bring home all of the stuff that she got us and our single child.
No.
Whoa.
I'm not dealing with that.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not a minimalist, but I'm also not a maximalist.
Where'd you
and I'm
put it?
specific about the things I have in my house.
Where'd you put it?
In the bin. No. No, don't. You give it away to people who may use it and want it and need it.
But also, like, you just say, hey, this is just not sustainable.
I think that's where this post is
Mama
going.
Santa Claus, please. Too much.
Mama Claus, you got the wrong list.
And also think of the earth. It is crying right now. Last year, after returning about 3/4 of the stuff that she gave us and dealing with random store credits at places that I never shop, I tried to gently suggest that maybe, instead of spending a ton of money on random things that the family usually ends up returning, she could just pick one nice thing for each person and maybe 2 to 3 for each of the kids.
I hear that.
Doesn't this sound so reasonable?
That sounds perfect.
I love that.
Yeah.
And also, it'll save you a little bit of money, Ma. And also, the earth stops crying. It cries a little less, at the very least. I even suggested the adults do a Secret Santa or White Elephant style exchange.
This is okay. Law of attraction. I heard white elephant as a term like 2 weeks ago, and this is the 5th time I've come across it. I never knew what it was before. I'd never heard of it before.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What's White Elephant, babe?
Well, I think I know. The context I read about it in is like in an office getting like one funny gift for people and then you pick one. It's not for specific people. It's just like a funny or a joke gift or like a gift that somebody can. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
I'm probably doing a really
bad
bad job.
It's where like you bring a gift but not for a specific person, kind of like Secret Santa. You just get one,
Yeah.
and then everyone stood in a circle, and then you took it in turns to open it, and then the next person could either take your gift that was open or a surprise gift.
I didn't know about that.
And
bit.
so everybody could do like one switch, and so it becomes like a bit of a funny game, but also people are able to then sort of take what they want, and then the person at the end whose first gift was taken away then gets a chance to take from anybody else.
Because I was gonna say like, what if I get something that I like and is really cool, and then Dave gets toilet roll and swaps with me?
But then some people might be like, yeah, gonna nab me that toilet roll, you know, like
To
it's
be
just a
fair,
funny
I
thing.
said toilet roll, but actually, it's always handy to have an extra roll.
Hey, cosy lives, babe. That
Yeah.
stuff do be a
Also,
good
like
gift.
adulting and forgetting to buy more. You know.
I'm with you. I do remember there being one rule, which is you are not allowed to take a gift that was just taken from you, because otherwise,
Right,
like, there's
yeah.
just this infinite just swapping.
Swap.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about? Is that what way?
I think so, but there may be comments on this video going, "No, Jamie, you are wrong," and that's fine. I am here to be educated.
Let us know if you do it differently. I like the name White Elephant. I like the name Secret Santa. It does make me think that elephants would not fit in a sleigh, but you know, it's fine.
Imagine Santa's sleigh, but driven by elephants.
OV says, rather than her buying massive amounts of presents for everyone, let's do one of these instead. The woman had an instantaneous meltdown, screaming about how ungrateful I was,
Well,
that I
that's a
didn't
lot.
understand how much trouble she went through to buy all of this stuff, how expensive it was, etc., etc. Honestly, I was so shocked at the response, I just let it go.
OP was trying to save you that time. Wow. Okay.
Interesting. I wonder if they receive gifts like this and therefore that's why they're giving it out. A few days ago, my father-in-law pulled me aside while we were discussing whose house Christmas would be at to ask if I would be able to, quote, behave myself and be grateful this year.
Oh, good Lord.
He said if I couldn't, then maybe it would be better for me and only me to spend Christmas with my side of the family instead of my
Oh,
partner's.
that's a lot.
That is next level,
That
bro.
is a lot.
My partner thinks that I should just apologise to his mum
I knew it was going to be his. I knew.
and
I knew.
accept the loads of crap we get each year. I can accept if they want to continue gifting us random stuff, but I don't think I should have to apologise for offering a suggestion. So am I the drama here?
No.
There is also one edit before you make
Sorry.
your judgment. Ovi says, for those who misunderstood, at no point did I mention to her that I returned the gifts or that I didn't like them. The conversation came up when she called to complain about her high credit card bill. I made the suggestion that everyone would be happy with small single gifts rather than her feeling like she had to get us quantities just so there would be quantities. The discussion is if I'm the a-hole, not a monster sheet.
Wow, that sounds like OP got a bit ripped in the comments, but I don't
Yeah.
really see why. Honestly, if I'm buying you gifts that you don't like, I want to know. Because I don't want to be spending my money on things people don't like.
I do hear you. I also hear, though, it's a really tricky conversation to have.
Devil advocating.
No, I'm not devil advocating. I'm just saying, like, even when you have got me, there have been times where you've got me clothes. Like, we kind of know now. Like, I'm like, Jamie, I'd really love a super long baggy top. And then you
Yeah.
get me one and I'm like, I'm so sorry. I saw this happen last year. I was like, thank you so much. It's so sweet. I'm never going to wear this. It is the wrong colour.
Yeah.
It was too light a shade of blue that, like, it looked like I was looking out a window at bright sunlight. Which is just my eyes being
All right, look, you don't have to be that hard.
no, it was beautiful.
Not
It just
into-
didn't fit my skin
Yeah,
tone
yeah, yeah.
for my preference, and also the neckline was too high. And I didn't mention to you that have you ever seen me wear like super high
Yeah.
necks?
Sometimes you'll make an exception.
Yeah, if I really,
Yeah.
really love the print. But in that moment, I was just like, thank you so much. This is so kind of you. Is there any chance that we could change it for something else?
Yeah.
And even then, like, I know that you're going to be really nice about it. I'm not nervous to say it, but I still feel bad. So imagine the first time that we did that to each other.
Yeah.
That doesn't feel fantastic, does it? You do get a little bit scared. As I've said before, I think sometimes when that happens, it talks more about the other person than it does yourself, because it
Yeah.
shows that actually you're not really in a super safe environment to be as vulnerable as maybe you would want to be.
Yeah.
Mostly because you're
Yeah.
nervous that someone else is going to react in a terrible way.
Yeah. And also, I knew, because I don't think it was revealed until later on in the storyline that OP's partner is a man. And I don't know OP's gender. I would hazard a guess at woman, just proportionately and statistically, it's more likely. But I knew when they were like mother-in-law, I knew their partner was going to be a bloke who couldn't stand up to his mum. Like, I reacted to a few of these recently.
And you're
and
like,
it's
I got
just
it.
like,
I got it.
yeah.
I've pegged you.
Yeah. Okay. I think this is really shitty.
Is it shitty enough from husband that you give a moldy brownie badge?
Oh, Prawn thinks so.
I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Throw that husband under the bus like he did you, mama.
I probably would. I'd give the whole family, all the in-laws, a moldy brownie badge, because like nobody can enjoy getting a ton of random crap every single year that they need to do 2 carloads home for 3 of them.
That is
ridiculous.
I'm so glad that OP gave us that visualization, because
Oh,
that's
yeah.
a ridiculous amount of
That
stuff
is.
for 3 people.
Because sometimes you can think when someone's saying, oh, they buy so many things, and then it actually isn't that much, but that is a lot.
Yeah, no, a lot. And you're right, I do think the whole of the in-laws are being proper shits right now. The fact that you could be like, oh, maybe don't come to Christmas this
Yeah,
year
that's
just
what I
because
was
you've said,
gonna
hey,
say.
you're struggling with your bills.
Yeah.
Hey, I literally did the exact same thing this year. I was like, hey, we're all feeling a little bit tight on money. There's a lot of pressure around gifts. How do you feel about a budget? And like, what is there to take offence at? I don't
Yeah.
understand. Why are you taking it so personally? No, Sandra, I don't want my 5th pair of pajamas from you. Like, what's wrong?
Also, I'm scared of the Grinch. No, but like, it's also saying a gift giving and gift receiving, we do it as an enjoyable thing. It's a love language, right? Gift giving. And we do it to show
Your top
appreciation.
one, I think.
Yeah. We do it to show our appreciation and our love for those around us. If you're getting feedback, like if every single year I bought you 10 pairs of slippers and you were like, Jamie, why the fuck do you keep buying me slippers? I do not need them. Then I would be like, oh my God, I'm really sorry. I thought you wanted them. I will stop doing that because the whole reason why I'm buying you gifts is to do something nice for you. So why, when I'm getting feedback, polite feedback, that is not actually a nice thing that you're doing because it's too many things, it's the wrong size, it's not what I like, why would you keep doing it?
Yeah, and ultimately, wouldn't you rather that I told you and that the money that you very kindly spent on me could go towards a different top that I would actually wear instead of like being spent on something that's just gonna like gather dust in my wardrobe where I'm gonna have to make excuses as to why you never see me in it.
Yeah. Or give me cash, Sandra. I'm joking. No. I think thoughtful gifts are a lot nicer. God, no, this just irritates me.
If we are gonna devil's advocate,
Oh.
I do think there'll be a bunch of people out there who'll be like, look, Sandra likes this way of gift giving. It's her love language. Just let her do it. If that's what she wants to do, if that's what she wants to spend her money on, if this is how she wants to let you know that she loves you, it's a bit rude to like say, no, I don't appreciate that. And I do understand that to an extent. Like, I get what people are saying, like, gifts are a thought from the heart. It doesn't necessarily need to be something that you want. It can be just something that somebody wants to give, in the same way that we don't give gifts in order to receive gifts. So just let people do that. At the same time, when it is this much stuff, you should be able
There's
to...
a level of irresponsibility.
Do you know, like, there's nuance to it.
Yeah.
Be reasonable.
Also, I love that we've just named mother-in-law Sandra. That's who she is now.
Goddamn Sandra.
She sounds like a specific type of person. Picture this, where you're like, hey, my birthday's coming up, and Sandra goes, oh, I'd love to organise your cake for you, what do you want? And you go, oh, Sandra, my favourite cakes are by this specific baker. I would love one of those for my birthday, thank you so much. Birthday comes around and she's made you the most horrendous cream cake covered in fruit that you hate, and she made it herself, and you're like, thank you so much for making the cake. I just want to let you know for next time, so that you don't like spend money on the ingredients and your time, I really don't like cream cake or fruit. And she goes, oh, how dare you, I slaved away over that cake, I put so much effort in. It's like, but I never asked you to do that. And it makes me feel like these people deliberately make themselves have a difficult time so that they can lament about it to other people and get sympathy and be like, I've put so much effort into this thing that you didn't even want. That's the vibe I'm getting.
That was a really long metaphor. Jamie's metaphor moment. Rate it, Peaches, down below. Let us know your thoughts on that metaphor. I don't think it quite fits. And I think if someone was to go through the efforts of making a cream cake, because they've gone through the efforts of making it, I'd be like, thank you so much, this is so sweet. And if they were to make another one, I'd be like, hi, Jamie, super appreciate that. Cream isn't my favourite. Do you think maybe I could be so bold as to ask for a chocolate cake this
And she'd
time?
still have the same reaction.
Okay, yeah.
She'd still have the same reaction.
Sure.
It doesn't matter. I was just using a quicker segue, and obviously the way I said it to you is not how I would say it if it happened in real life. It'd be a lot softer with it.
But I definitely hear what you're saying about the response, like the reaction. I think it's one of those cases where what you say and what people choose to take from it are very different. And it's like, look, it's not personal. The fact that I don't like having 60,000 wooden signs with animals on in my house doesn't mean I don't like you.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my God, like they're thinking that it's a reflection of their taste.
I just don't know why if somebody said, hey, you don't need to spend this much money or go to this much effort, you wouldn't go, oh, thank God. I thought I'd signed myself up for a lifetime
Especially
because
when you're
people were
saying
expecting
that,
it.
You're concerned about having high credit card bills.
Exactly. Honestly, I'm ready.
Not the drama.
Not the drama.
Not the drama.
Not the drama.
Totally not the drama.
Yeah, no. I'd be really interested to hear what other people have to say about this one, though.
And I'd be really interested as well in hearing, are you bold with your gifts? With your gift likes and dislikes? Would you tell people if you weren't a fan? People like Rachel from Friends fully normalised it, right? Being like, sure, get me something, but you know I'm going to return it.
I think if someone got me something really expensive that I just wasn't going to use, I would let them know. But if it's just like a little gift and it's one, and it's like, oh, okay, but thank you, I just wouldn't.
And then you have people like Emily Gilmore who have to like drag it out each time that someone visits. Like, imagine having to do that with 2 carloads full every year.
Yeah,
She's
well,
like
at
this with birthdays
least
as well.
she doesn't check in.
Well, she can't. She buys so much stuff, it would be physically impossible for one person to keep track.
She doesn't even remember what she bought the same year she bought it.
Flippin' not the drama.
Oh, mother-in-law overreacted severely, and I'm completely baffled by father-in-law.
Right?
Exactly.
That was particularly
He
dicky.
spoke to you like you're a child. I would go to your parents, but take your kid as well, and your husband absolutely sucks for not standing up for you.
Agreed
I think
here.
the father-in-law is the biggest a-hole here. I think they all are.
But I do think the father-in-law was the biggest for
bet you-
extrapolating so high.
I bet you he was a messenger, though.
I reckon that he said what he said because unlike OP, he is the one that's having to deal with Sandra nagging constantly and complaining constantly. Sometimes we need to like put ourselves in other people's shoes, but that doesn't mean that you have the right
Sandra.
to be like, don't come to Christmas. Just you.
Yeah, Sandra will never grow.
Sandra will never grow. Exactly. Yes to this. There's a little mic drop moment there. It is wasteful and bad for the environment.
Yes, doubly awful.
Don't mean to be that person, but like we need to be. The world is hurting, guys. Ooh, you are the drama.
Oh God. Christmas is supposed to be fun, but for everybody. It's fine if you get rid of the stuff she gives you, but come on, if she likes it, let her give it. My grandmother used to be like this. I used to get the weirdest shit from her. One year I got a pocket-sized combination mirror hairbrush, some dollar store Christmas pencils, and a travel pack of tissues. But they're all really small items, and it's 3 things.
Yeah.
We don't really like that grandmother for a variety of reasons, but seeing what wild shit we'd get every year was a major highlight of Christmas, and something we still talk and laugh about to this day. We don't spend Christmas with her anymore. Also, why bother returning the stuff? If you don't need or want the store credit, you're just making your own life miserable when navigating returns. Donate it, sell it at a garage sale, or use it for something else. I don't know why I said garage. Do you know what this is? This is somebody who is so deep in their own personal experience, they can't even see it slightly from somebody else's perspective. They're like, oh, my grandma got me a pencil packet one year. Ha, how funny. Oh, no, wait, but you're having to drive home with a truckload of stuff? That's maybe a bit different.
You're so stuck on the two colours.
A bit different.
Understandably so as well. I think what this is giving me is that devil's advocate point that I was trying to say, you know,
Yeah.
oh, the value of Christmas is allowing people to get gifts. Like, it doesn't need to be something that you want. Let them do it. I hear you. But I think when you're talking about people like Sandra here and what she's doing, she's lost that value of Christmas.
Yeah.
It's not just one meaningful gift. She's turning it into like this mega extravagant capitalistic thing. She's bought in to, oh my God, I must buy a million things
Yeah.
and put myself in debt for it. Like, that's not
That's not okay.
not the meaning of Christmas either.
On the reverse of this, why is this person all like, oh, let her have it, mate, let her be happy? Why can't OP be happy? Why can't there be a compromise going on? Why is it that the gift giver is the one that needs the leniency? Like, she's expressed that she wants to give a shit ton of crap. Why can't OP express that they don't want to receive that? Well, why
And
is
she did
one
it in a
way
very
acceptable?
polite way.
Yeah.
Drama. Am I the drama, Jamie, for not serving a ham on Christmas?
Oh,
This is giving me...
this is giving me honey roast ham.
Yeah, from... What is it?
Christmas with the
Cranks. I love that film.
I want to watch it.
Well, we do every year.
We've not done it yet this year.
We give it to you every ball.
Yeah. I'll start this off by saying I'm a born and raised vegetarian.
When someone say born and raised...
I was expecting Christian.
Right.
I've never eaten meat, let alone learned to prepare it. My husband and I are newly married and recently bought our first apartment. It's small, but it's ours. Yep,
Congratulations.
and it's across the road from his place of work, which was a bonus since he is often on call.
Nice.
That is so handy.
That commute is
Amazing.
desirable.
Yeah, just crossing the street. Per his family tradition, the most recently wed couple hosts Christmas dinner. That just sounds like so much pressure. What if you get married in December?
I mean, how many kids are there for this to be a huge tradition at some
27.
point? All the kids will be married. I think it's sweet to have a tradition where like the person who's just moved can host it, because then you want to like break in the gorgeous new house with all the cozy vibes. But like, if you've only got 2 kids, how is this a tradition? You must have like so many kids.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
No, I hear you.
Oh, interesting.
I initially tried to offer it to my sister-in-law as she had wanted to host the year previously, but brother-in-law married 2 months after her before Christmas.
Oh, come on. This is
for
so
God's sake.
silly.
So she never got the opportunity. Oh, for crying out loud. Additionally, we are a vegetarian home and our 1-bedroom apartment isn't ideal for hosting.
Okay.
While my sister-in-law was thrilled, the rest of the family insisted that we had to host. I was told that as long as I got food for everyone, that it would be fine. Look, if somebody's saying, I don't think my home is big enough to host,
I don't particularly
I
want
know
to.
this person really wants to. They missed that opportunity. You can't. Don't skip the kid. That's what's stupid about these kind of traditions. And also in the same family. Imagine 2 weddings in the same year
That's cute.
of siblings.
I don't have a
No,
problem
but
with that.
especially when there's a tradition tied to the order of weddings, like it's just that complicates everything. He skipped the queue, that brother-in-law. Here's where I might be the arsehole.
Ah, we love a reflective OP.
A reflective arsehole. Diamante. I misunderstood. I thought this meant as long as I had enough food and made sure to accommodate food allergies that they would be happy.
Oh Oh.
That was my assumption, to be honest.
You made vegetarian food.
Let's read on.
Okay.
Christmas Day, my husband had work until 4 p.m. Oh, bless him. So I was left preparing dinner alone, but I still put together a feast, including a plant-based roast.
Good for you.
People started coming over and even commented on how delicious everything smelled.
Aw.
Once my husband arrived, he greeted the family and joined me in the kitchen for finishing touches and taking everything to the table.
That's cute.
He swoops in to take the credit.
No, I love the partners that come and actually help, especially when there is a man-woman dynamic. We don't see it enough, and it's like,
I agree.
Get your ass in the kitchen and help out, dude.
Yeah, just your ass. The family began to gather and a few people commented on how good everything looked until father-in-law asks, "Where's the ham?"
Normally
What
we're
a
like,
weird question.
Where's the turkey?
Yeah, I know.
right?
Or stuffing or something.
Maybe this family has a ham tradition.
Maybe, but get over it.
Like the Cranks.
Well, they insisted on this tradition and she gave them that tradition. They can't expect her to uphold every one of their family traditions.
They should be like, here is my fam. Like fake ham.
Oh.
Fam. That
She's
sounds like
just
a
eating
thing.
the family. OP carries on. My husband explained that I wasn't comfortable making meat, especially ham, since undercooked pork can be especially dangerous, and that instead we had a plant-based roast alternative, and father-in-law proceeded to make remarks about how they drove an hour for plants. Oh, shut
for
up.
God's sakes.
After even the people who made positive comments changed their tune, talking about how it was missing something, etc. At one point, mother-in-law said that she wished they'd had sister-in-law host. You absolute...
my God.
What an absolute butthole.
To say that in someone else's house when they've gone through all of that effort after heavily suggesting that sister-in-law should have done it.
If I was eating dinner at someone who's vegetarian's house, I would never expect them to cook, serve, have meat for me
You are
at
so
all.
silly to have not at least had that conversation
Yeah.
beforehand, to be like, hey, are you doing vegetarian food? Should I bring the meat?
Like the pre-cooked
That's
meat.
what you would ask, right?
Or
Should
are
I
you
bring
comfortable?
it?
And then
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
if you're not comfortable having it in your house and you'd rather somebody else host, maybe that's the better path this year.
Exactly. Wait a second. Did OP confirm I will host then, but it will be vegetarian?
Don't know. We've not been given that
I do think that's
information.
important information because
How do they
both
not
parties
know?
should have said something.
But how would they not know? They must know she's veggie.
Okay,
and
read
I
on,
would
read on, and then
never
we'll
be
see.
so entitled as to expect a vegetarian to cook meat.
Not without
I
clarification.
also wouldn't want somebody who is vegetarian and doesn't know how to cook meat to cook meat.
I'm with you.
Absolutely stay away from it,
I
babe.
am
It's
with
all
you.
good. Ugh. My husband snapped. Oh, we've got a husband standing up for his wife. And told them to stop disrespecting the meal and myself since I worked hard on it.
Yes,
okay,
husband.
Thank you,
Brownie badge
finally.
for you.
I mean, no, he's doing the minimum, but yes, thank you for actually doing it.
I still give you a brownie badge.
Okay, mother-in-law argued back that I disrespected them by not respecting their dietary choices. What about her dietary choices?
Also, that's not a dietary choice.
Yeah.
It's a dietary restriction. But by you eating meat, you don't have a restriction. You can eat vegetarian and vegan food.
When you're
Vegans
vegetarian,
can't eat.
when you're vegetarian, you can't eat meat. When you are an omnivore, is that what we're saying? If you're a meat eater, you can go a day without meat.
Imagine going to a Muslim's house and being like, where's my pig in a blanket? You are
Yeah.
not respecting my dietary choice.
God, awful. I disrespected them by not respecting the dietary choices, and that she believed she was clear when she told me to prepare food for everyone.
Everyone suggests a number, not
Honestly-
a menu.
Yes, exactly. And I'm sure OP kind of expected them to be able to just go without meat for one day.
I will say though, I think OP also should have made it clear. As OP is the vegetarian, as the person who does have a dietary restriction, just to be abundantly clear, like, fine, it will be vegetarian. Don't tell me that you don't have these conversations. When we cook with your parents for
Yeah.
Christmas, when I'm cooking for my mum for whatever's happening, when we have people over, we say, this is the menu. It comes up, bro. It comes
I
up.
do hear you. However, your family doesn't need to turn around to me and say there's not going to be a ham or pigs in blankets or pork stuffing.
Yeah.
I just know that because I know they don't eat that, so I would never expect them to prepare that.
Sure,
and I
but-
can go at Christmas without it, you
But
know?
also, we have spent many a time eating at each other's houses. This sounds like it's the first time. Do you know what's coming up in my mind? We didn't Am I the Arsehole. No, I didn't Am I the Drama. Because it was before this podcast even started about a Christmas Day where a teetotal family, a sober family, hosted Christmas. And so they didn't want alcohol in their house. And the other guys were like, what the frick? And I can't fully remember my verdict. My verdict now would be, I get it. If you're triggered by it, that's fine. But I do think that some conversation is required. I do recall a lot of this community feeling like because it was Christmas, which is such a special day, and there are some things that are such a moment that makes Christmas Christmas for certain people, that it should have been allowed. Do you see what I'm saying?
I do hear
So
you.
I think like that's also part of my thinking. Like if ham is such a big part of Christmas for this family, for
Then
whatever
I
reason,
wouldn't have Christmas at the vegetarian's house.
Exactly, you would say, hey, just making sure we've got this ham thing covered. Whoever it is, vegetarian or not, you would make sure that things that you want are covered.
I don't completely disagree with you when you're talking about maybe OP should have just said, you know, the menu's going to be veggie, right?
All I'm saying is I think there's
However,
accountability on both of them to have clarified
I think
this.
there is minimal accountability on OP because I
agree.
think
More
it shows a
accountability.
huge amount of entitlement on the in-laws expecting there to be meat from a veggie.
All I'm saying is I do think that there's accountability on both parties to have confirmed the menu.
Right.
At the same time, the way that they are treating OP is disgusting, and OP, in my opinion, is no way the drama. I'm
Yeah.
just saying it would have been a very wise thing to do as the one who has different dietary restrictions to be like, hey, just making you aware, this is what it's going to be.
Just for me, either if you're eating at somebody's house where they have like a really obvious dietary difference to you, I would never expect them to make my diet. I expect
I
them to make
totally
theirs.
respect that. And same too.
It's just an entitlement
Yeah.
of not realizing that. But I do understand that maybe in the context of if you know these people,
Just
there may
practically,
be an
you just said
awareness
something.
that they might not fully understand the situation. So you might want them to know.
I'm not talking about not understanding.
Right.
I'm literally just saying you would talk about it.
Oh.
Regardless of dietary restrictions, you would talk about what you're cooking. You would say, hey, this is what it's going to be. It's just practical. The practicalities of
Okay.
hosting a Christmas dinner.
It's interesting because, like, yes, my mum is so particular about telling us what's on the menu.
I know exactly what's on my mum's menu. Same
Do
every
you?
year. So do you.
Same every year. But, like,
Exactly. So if a ham is such a big deal to them, and this is a tradition that they're brought into, do you see what I mean? Like, I just think a conversation, it would have been the wise thing to do. Look, I'm not saying that Opie's drama, but I respect that we are disagreeing. Like, it's totally fine. I don't think you're wrong. It's just two different approaches. And ultimately, I just want to clarify, I'm not saying that Opie is the drama.
I think you're wrong.
But you also are not
But
agreeing.
I don't think OP needed to say it.
Like when we went to Jessie's place, Jessie has like quite strict dietary requirements, and she was like, hey guys, letting you know that this is what it's going to be like, and if you want to bring something, it's got to be like this, this and this. If
Okay.
you're doing the hosting, you need to put out the rules. When we went to our loved one's wedding the thingy recently, we knew that they were vegan, but their menu specifically stated we will be serving vegan food.
That is very normal for a wedding. But yes.
But
I
in a
do-
meat eater's
I
food, you don't
do-
go, we will be serving meat food. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's when there is a difference, when there is a dietary restriction, it's just common practice to do that, is what I'm saying. I'm not saying you have to.
I think
I'm saying it's
you're
normal and would have been wise.
I think you're being very practical with it, which I see, and I think I'm being very. It should just not have been necessary because they're
matter
so
of
dumb to
principle.
have not realised that it wouldn't be veggie
And
food.
I
That's
definitely
kind
think
of
the
it.
way
But
that
yeah,
they are reacting is disgusting.
yeah. But I do hear you.
Okay. I'm glad we saw that.
Yeah, but my husband told her that if she was going to continue to be disrespectful, that she could leave. Ooh.
Wow. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is a hot trait in a husband.
Imagine how much mum must have been pushing that for him to get to that
Get
point.
that mad.
Like, imagine saying, God, sister should have done that just because you didn't have a piece of meat in your plate.
Oof.
What?
It's
What?
childish. Shortly after everyone left, but my husband has been getting texts since about how my selfishness ruined Christmas. Possibly the last father-in-law would be around for. Oh, for God, why do people always pull out the emotional blackmail? I feel horrible that he's in the middle of all this. This was my mistake, but at the same time, I was clear we are vegetarian and that I didn't even want to host.
Wait, so you did say, hey, this is
we're
veggie.
vegetarian.
Because I'm veggie, we are not cooking meat.
It's still not clear.
Yeah. You were very clear that you didn't want to host. And you know what? I'm so sorry that this has happened because you went out of your way to literally, like, what do they say? Bend over backwards for this family.
Yeah.
And it's just been thrown in your face. It's absolutely
Yeah.
disgusting. You were totally not the drama.
Yeah.
Totally not
I
the
mean,
drama.
yes, I agree. We're not quite at the end yet, though.
Oh, sorry.
There is a little edit.
Go on.
For the people asking if his family were aware, we just had a fully vegetarian catered wedding 4 months ago, so yes.
Oh
So
my
it
God. So you
sounds like-
literally did do the veggie thing already.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you see what I mean? Like, make it clear. It feels like it has been made
Yeah,
clear.
it maybe wasn't said, we're having this nut roast. What did they have?
A plant-based
A
roast.
plant-based roast for Christmas, but it was clear of like, we are vegetarian.
I just think it's a bit ridiculous as well to think that you can't, for whatever reason, go a meal without eating meat.
Yeah.
Like, really, does every single one of your meals include meat? Are you annoyed that, like, cereal doesn't have meat? Like, if you can enjoy a bowl of cereal, why can't you enjoy a vegan, it's not even vegan, a vegetarian roast?
A bowl of steak pops.
What's your badge, Prawn, huh? There you go. Brawn's badge.
Minnie's purring.
You
They're
are
saying not the
purring.
drama. I want to hear what other people have to say
Me
about
too,
this one.
I'm intrigued.
You ready?
And I want some more information to know if OP made it clear that this was going to be a veggie menu.
It was obviously clear that veggie was OP. That OP's veggie.
Yeah.
And when they host their events, they do them vegetarian.
No, but not where they cook. A wedding is different because you're not the one cooking. At the same time, like, come on, if your wedding is going to be vegetarian, of course your Christmas is going to be
It wouldn't
vegetarian.
even need to be said.
No,
at that
you're just
point.
a total dummy for thinking anything else.
Dummy. Not the drama.
Hosts determine the menus. Guests do not determine the menus. You offered your best and your guests were impolite and demanding. It is good that your husband had your back.
Yes.
Don't host these people again. If they want a specific menu, let them figure it out.
Exactly. You're not at a restaurant. If a ham was that important, they should have, 1, stated that fact.
Yes, that's what I'm
2,
saying.
yeah, offered to prepare and bring it.
Yes.
And 3, respected if OP said no.
Also this.
You know they wouldn't respect that.
If,
you know
but
it.
then you say, fine, go to sister-in-laws. And
Yeah.
they'll go, really? You won't allow me to bring a ham? And then you'll say, no, I am a vegetarian household. And then they'll go, oh gosh, we're going to sister-in-laws this year. And then you wouldn't have had to host. And then at sister-in-laws, damn straight would they have gone, oh, and wouldn't have let us brought a ham. And you just go, and you move on. That's it. That's how it goes.
Lovely. Working off assumptions like, make sure there is food for everyone, in quotes, automatically meaning ham, is stupid. It is.
It is. It's freaking... I've said what I need to say.
Do you know-
We're going to go around in circles.
I feel,
Yeah.
I know we had a tricky time with your mum in the beginning, but I feel really lucky with our respective
We
in-laws.
have some pretty cool in-laws, don't
because
we?
I actually think that we've done well.
Yeah.
Because we don't have to deal with this batshittery.
No.
Not the drama.
There is an extremely bright, almost blindingly bright silver lining here. Your husband has your
Yes.
back and he is on
Yeah.
your side. Your mantra should be, quote, anything we host will be vegetarian. If that's not acceptable, we're very happy to let someone else host, but understand there'll be no meat cooked in our apartment. I totally agree. Maybe this was the first time in which you cooked, in which case it's a real good idea just to
Yeah.
really make that clear. And now I think we've really learned that. That is completely valid, says this commenter. You might want to think, however, about what your response would be if someone says, we'll bring the ham, because that could be their next response. Would you be okay with that? And Opie's actually responded here.
Saying I'd be fine with that as long as they cook it themselves
That's
and take away
so-
any remains when they leave. They
So
did,
reasonable.
Yeah, they did pretty much exactly that at my wedding and I didn't care.
They brought meat to the wedding. They knew to bring meat to the wedding, but didn't think about Christmas. That is bananas.
Hold on.
This changes
Wait.
everything.
Wait, there's actually a reply again from somebody saying, wait, they brought that owed meat to a fully catered vegetarian wedding. And OP has said, yeah, mother-in-law called it bird food and ordered a bunch of stuff from a couple of the restaurants down the road from the venue.
That's
To be
ridiculous.
honest, under the circumstances, I was half expecting them to show up on Christmas with their own food potluck style.
Okay. I take back everything I said. Not because I'm wrong to have said it,
But
but
because it
it's
was
so
already clear.
that it was there. I can't deal. This just made me so mad.
I don't know what I would do if my parents were like this. I would be so mortified.
I'm dead. It's ridiculous. Oh
Like-
my god. Imagine ordering meat to a vegetarian wedding. No.
Imagine if we just nipped out at the last wedding we went to that was veggie and just picked up some burgers and taken them back.
I just want to clarify as well to anyone who's listening, I'm not vegetarian. I eat meat.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, like, it's perfectly reasonable to not eat meat for a meal. You
Yeah.
know you won't spontaneously combust if that happens, right? I just want to let you know. PSA for whoever
This is a
needed it.
really weird attitude that they can't go one day without meat.
Again, the only thing that comes up to my mind is those people who are like, oh, well, it's Christmas, it's special. If someone's waiting their whole life for
Yeah,
a
but
pig-
this was
for their whole
their
year for a pig
wedding.
blanket. I know. My favourite
They've-
dish is vegetarian.
Amazing. What is it?
The pasta that we do with like the creamy bolognese sauce with the shards of parmesan. Oh, is parmesan veggie?
No.
Well, there you go. Ruined.
Not the drama. You and your husband run a vegetarian vegetarian household, thus it is a reasonable expectation that the food you will make will be vegetarian, plain and simple. Also, on the side, what have you made?
Oh my god, I know if he's responded.
Yeah.
Homemade bread rolls.
Amazing.
Oh, mashed potatoes.
Delicious.
Mac and cheese.
Wonderful.
Green bean casserole.
I've heard it's disgusting.
I want to try it though.
Okay.
It's on my bucket list. Roasted carrots,
Great.
Brussels sprouts, a mushroom gravy,
Okay.
cranberry sauce,
Yum.
in addition to the field roast celebration roast, as well as both an apple and a pecan pie for dessert. It broke my heart that they didn't eat my food, but at least I have incredible leftovers.
I'm
OP.
honestly feeling so upset for OP because that
I
sounds
would come
amazing.
to your
Like,
house. That sounds incredible.
how
I'm
much
so sorry.
effort did she put into this meal? And
I'm
they were
hungry just reading that. I don't know what a field roast celebration roast is. That's the only thing. But everything else sounds so incredible.
That would be amazing.
And even if there wasn't anything else apart from that, like, mate, it's Christmas. It's about being merry and having a great time. Not merry as in drunk, just happy.
I can feel how angry I would be if you cooked all day for family and they just threw
And
it
your
back in
family
your
did that to
yeah,
me.
and they left early and they disrespected you and they were horrible about your food.
Don't get me started on pecan pies. They hold
Do
a
you know
very
what I
special
would
place in
do?
our hearts.
I'd fill their car with gravy. And be like, is that enough meat for you now? You
With my
absolute
mushroom gravy.
assholes. No, I'd fill it with meat gravy and be like, there you go.
I mean, you're vegetarian.
There's your meat.
I don't think you do that.
Shush. No, because I'm guessing husband wasn't brought up veggie. So I would do it on my vegetarian partner's behalf.
We actually have an update from this OP. Do you want to read it?
I've never seen this happen. Brother-in-law apparently frequents Reddit quite a bit and found this post, sharing it with my in-laws. Oh my god.
How do we think it's going to go?
Not good. Okay. I actually had to, yeah, they read it
We're ready
over.
to fight for you, OP. We're ready to fight.
If I got that news and I were OP, I would shit myself. They read it over as well as many of the replies and called me directly. All calls and texts up to this point had been to husband and actually apologised. Holy poo holes.
We love a growth moment.
Wow, I'm still in shock. Me too. They want to meet somewhere, even suggested that I could pick a vegetarian restaurant and have a talk and extend their apology in person. I'd be lying if I didn't admit that my guard is up, that's fair, but I'm doing my best to be positive and go into this with an optimistic attitude. Thank you to everyone who left kind words. I was sobbing as I made the original post and the reassurance meant the world to me. Merry
God.
Christmas to all who celebrate and I hope you all enjoy the rest of the holidays. Rosie.
Oh, Rosie!
Oh.
Do you still want to cover their car and gravy?
Yeah. They were still twats. No, like,
hey, we love a growth moment.
we do love a growth moment.
If you have found out that someone is hurting and you are now willing to apologise, having heard someone else's point of view,
Yeah.
this is the magic of this podcast.
Yeah.
This is the magic of these kind of forums when people
Yeah.
are being reasonable. And this makes me so happy. This honestly has like cured my faith in humanity for until Trump does another stupid thing. This is amazing.
No, it does make me very happy that they actually called her and apologised and want to meet up at
Directly.
a vegetarian restaurant.
That is growth.
Like,
I appreciate why you have your guard up. At the same time, I think those are really, really positive signs that they're being genuine.
it was obviously that post and reading other people's comments were able to give them the empathy
And that's what
they
we
needed.
need. Sometimes
to
we
see
need
it.
that outside perspective of people being like, your family are f***ing idiots, and saying
Yeah.
the things that you aren't able to say because you're too close in it.
Yeah.
I'm so happy right now. Silly billies.
Yeah. I'm hoping this turns into a no drama here situation for you.
Merry Christmas to each and everyone. Oh, drama. Now's the time that we would normally go to a peach submission, but because it's Christmas, we are extending this episode and giving you a bonus Christmas post.
Yep, it's not just that the last one is super long, there is 2 more left to go.
Call us Santa Claus, bitches. Sorry, I
With
don't know
one
why I said that.
Santa Claus. I'm more surprised at us melting into one bearded man. Am I the drama, Shaaba, for suggesting we lock up the Christmas presents after what my niece did last year?
God,
Oh
what
my
did she
god,
do?
this sounds like a demented post.
Every year, says OP, my siblings and I, alongside our families, spend Christmas with our parents. We stay at their house for a few days.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone opens gifts together.
Beautiful.
It's hectic, but a lot of fun.
Woo.
The kids enjoy having one big sleepover with their cousins. My mum likes having everyone home again. We all pitch in. It's a win-win.
Winning.
This sounds great.
Mm-hmm.
This is like goals. I aspire to be those parents, to have like
Yeah.
the generations and be like, yep.
Yeah, that is cute.
Last year, my brother married Sally. She has a 7-year-old daughter called Mindy, and this was their first Christmas with us. It seems like they were having a fun time. So Mindy is a stepchild who's
Yes.
coming with family. Okay. Christmas Eve, all the kids went to the finished basement to sleep. That sounds terrifying.
creepy, but sure.
We told the kids to not open up gifts without us and to wake us up when they did.
Oh no.
This was repeated several times, and once the kids were asleep, we put all of the gifts under the tree and eventually went to bed ourselves. You can see where this is going, can't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
The next morning, around 6 a.m, I wake up early and head downstairs, and I find the living room a mess. Half of the gifts were unwrapped. Several of them had been ripped from their boxes. There was Mindy playing with some of the toys.
Ooh.
Most of the ones weren't even hers.
No.
She knows how to read, and they were all labelled, so she knew this. She's 7.
Yeah.
I was in shock. I went and got my brother and Sally alongside the rest of the adults. Sally was super embarrassed, and my mum was very upset.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not Sally's fault. She wasn't to know.
Yeah.
Mindy is acting out, and Mindy is a 7-year-old child, so we have to have grace, but your feelings are still very valid of being
Yeah.
upset. I just don't think we can, like, put blame.
I think we can put blame in the sense that this is behaviour that needs to be clear to Mindy that was very
discipline
wrong.
Mindy, for sure, in a healthy
Yeah.
way that will allow her to grow.
And like, honestly, is it harsh that I'd want to like confiscate her gifts? No, she went down and opened other people's presents and her presents early. So I don't know if this is a bad punishment, but I would be like, okay, you're going to help us fix this and wrap all the gifts back up. And then when
Yes,
everybody
yes
comes
to that.
down, you need to wait till later for your gifts now.
Oh, I probably wouldn't do that.
Really?
Yeah. I think it's a wonderful idea for Mindy to help. I don't know. I think I'm so riddled with the fear of causing trauma to our children.
Oh, I'm not saying don't give her the gifts. I'm just saying
Delay them
it's like
somehow.
it's kind of like you should have waited.
Absolutely.
Please wait now.
I think it depends on
kind
how
of
she would
vibe.
react to that, right? If she was apologetic
Yeah.
and helped, then like give her the gifts.
I'd probably give
At the
her
same
like
time
a
as everyone
couple
else.
of the gifts and hold the rest of them back until later.
We'll see. Okay. The other kids weren't up yet, so we tried to salvage what we could while Sally spoke to Mindy.
Yeah.
Not everything could be fixed, and she'd broken a couple of toys completely. No. The broken ones weren't even her own toys.
No.
Luckily, not everything was damaged, and even the boxes that were, the kids didn't notice.
Yeah.
But my nephew, the sister's son, had one of his big gifts destroyed, and he was sad when everyone else got theirs, whilst he was told he'd have to wait for a new one to come back in.
No,
That
that's
is
really
so sad.
sad.
That is so sad.
I know that like Christmas isn't all about gifts, but like
It's a big
know,
part of the magic for kids.
kids,
It makes sense
yeah,
in this
and
culture. If this is how we're going to grow them up, to be expecting gifts,
and
imagine
especially
if one doesn't get one.
and especially if all the other kids got their gifts.
Right, and
yeah.
especially with like those undertones of like, oh, good people get gifts, bad people don't. Especially if you're still keeping up this pretense of Santa.
Yeah.
Sorry to have broken the facade for anyone who didn't know.
Everyone.
Sally and my brother reimbursed everyone. Very, very kind and the right thing to do if you had the means to do it. Mindy didn't get to open gifts with everybody, but joined the festivities later. She apologized, but kept making excuses. She said she didn't want to wait and she wanted to see what everyone else got. Okay, so she's not really apologizing. She's not actually sorry.
Yeah, I'm just like, what did she do to break so many?
And like, you're a 7-year-old, babe. You know better.
Yeah.
At that age, you know better.
Yeah.
The only thing that I can think of, because people are not assholes for just being assholes. Why did she do that? Was she feeling really insecure? I imagine it might be an odd situation joining a family and having like a sleepover in a basement with only kids for the first time spending Christmas with this family. It must be very
Yeah.
overwhelming. So maybe she was like, oh, this is what I'm going to do to distract myself.
I do think you're right with it sounds like she was acting out.
Yeah.
I don't.
It doesn't make it right, and we should
Yeah.
still definitely be employing some form of discipline.
Yeah.
Wow. So awkward. Could you imagine being Sally in this situation? I would be pooing myself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We were all preparing to go to my parents again this year. Oh, this was last year. Yes,
Yeah.
of course. I put in the group chat that we should either lock the door to the living room this year or put a gate around the tree so no one can get to it. I didn't even name names. Just specifically said
No one.
Sally and my brother got mad. Oh, this is a shock to me.
Okay.
Accusing me of treating Mindy like a baby or an animal.
I mean, she did act like a baby.
Do you know what I mean? If the shoe fits, not an animal, but like if she's
A
acting
baby,
really
yeah.
immature, then do the things that don't allow her to do that. I don't think that's an unreasonable request considering
Yeah.
what happened. I said I'm not, but this is a precaution so none of the kids are tempted. They said this isn't necessary and I'm holding him mistake over Mindy's head. I said, no, I'm not. I'm just trying to make sure that we have no repeat.
But I do appreciate that as well, because as well, the other kids who may be younger than Mindy, if they didn't notice like the boxes being broken and stuff, it's realistic that at least some of them are younger. They might think, oh, but Mindy got to get up early last year and open all the gifts, so why don't I do it this year?
I mean, I'm not sure if they knew.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying, like they seem to have been asleep, but you're right.
Yeah.
We don't know what happened down there. It might be that they did know and then went back to bed.
Exactly. And also, as Sally, I would not want to go through that embarrassment again.
No.
And also, well, you not having to reimburse the other presents. The only thing I would say, though, is that by locking them away, Mindy might never learn, because she might try again, but because they're locked away, she won't be able to get to them. So it might be a behaviour that she doesn't actually learn to rectify. But
I hear what you're saying. For me, I think like there's a time and place to learn certain lessons, and if this is going to be a preventative thing that eases everybody's minds and ensures that everybody has a wonderful Christmas.
Oh yeah, I'm not disagreeing with it. I'm just saying that like Sally and Brother would need to be reinforcing that was the wrong behaviour throughout the year as well. Because if she's not learned anything throughout the year or from last year,
because it sounds like she wasn't apologetic. That's my thing, right? Like you're not actually sorry.
Yeah.
So what's to say that you're going to not do it this year?
Yeah.
Even if it's like when a kid does something and you're like, that was a bad thing to do, and they get really embarrassed and then they laugh.
Yeah.
And then they do it again.
Yeah.
Because they're embarrassed. Like who's to say that Mindy wouldn't do that, especially if she's still feeling uncomfortable because it's a new situation for her.
Yeah.
I'm on OP side with this.
I am on OP side, but what I will say is like, don't beat around the bush. You were suggesting it because of Mindy, and that's okay.
No, but also all kids. Like doing that does help all of them from not doing it.
Yeah, I'm sure loads of parents do this.
Yeah.
Just to take away the temptation.
I'm with you. OP does finish the post off by saying Mindy does not have autism or ADHD, and even if she did, my daughter's got ADHD, and both my sister's kids are on the spectrum, and they knew better. I don't think Mindy was malicious. She was only 6, but I do think that precautions should be made. My parents agree with me, and my brother is mad that I put it in their heads. Am I the drama? No.
No, I don't think
Truly,
you're the drama. No. It's not quite a no drama here, because the Sally and the brother are being dramatic this year.
Yeah,
but like she's old enough to know better, but she's still a young child who maybe has gone through a turbulent time, and we need to offer grace for that, but also expect her to learn life lessons and grow as she grows older.
And again, I feel like Sally and brother are taking it personally. It doesn't need to be a personal thing. It's just a helpful thing. If people just had less of an ego, the world would be a significantly less conflicty place.
You know, they should just lock the door. Like Sally and brother go to bed and somebody just pops down and locks the door. Just do it. I don't care. No, because like I'd rather deal with Sally and brother, because they'll try and cover up the annoyance on Christmas Day for the sake of the kids. I
would just rather Sally and brother understand and be like, you know what, I think that's a good idea.
No,
just in case.
If they don't understand, if Mindy were my child, I would be suggesting
Lock the goddamn
yeah,
door.
I'm not going through that embarrassment.
I'm totally kidding.
I'm not going through that embarrassment again.
It's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
To just make sure. I don't think that's a problem.
Okay.
A baby gate is a great idea.
I mean, I think a 7-year-old could get through a baby gate. Can they?
They are quite fiddly. I struggle sometimes, and I'm
you
much
do
older
actually,
than 7.
yeah. Okay,
That's all I was
fair.
basing that off of. And also, something like that serves as a physical reminder, doesn't it? Like, don't do this. We don't want you doing this. And I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
The other alternative, of course, is to, it might sound like you're ostracizing Mindy a little bit, which isn't a wonderful idea, but I was like, maybe having Mindy up with you and brother, Sally, because I think what I would do is really have a chat with Mindy. I'm not trying to like therapist a child. I get it, they're 7, but being like, what made you do
Kids
that?
need
Like,
therapy as well.
Why were you like needing to do that? I would try to get to a stage where they could truly understand, because they can. They are very capable of understanding that what they've done has caused hurt, and they should be sorry.
Yeah.
I would want Mindy, this sounds mean, but I don't mean it in a mean way. I'd want Mindy to feel that embarrassment of what she did, because it's only through that she would learn.
And also apologise to the other kids.
Yeah, and maybe, especially the other sibling.
The kid whose toy was broken.
Right, and like maybe it's in that Mindy would explain that she wasn't feeling fantastic and she felt really out of place, and then offer, like, would you want to come sleep with mummy and daddy today? Or mummy and whatever you call your stepdad.
It's just interesting because it's like the initial assumption is, Mindy snuck down and opened her gifts at midnight. And then it's like, no, she didn't just open her gifts, she opened other kids' gifts. And then no, she didn't just open other people's gifts, she destroyed them. So like it is quite an escalation of a behaviour that even in its simplest form of her opening her gifts before everybody would be something that you would bring up with a child and be like, that wasn't okay.
And she's doing that and not truly feeling sorry.
Yeah.
From what we can understand.
Yeah. Let's see what other people had to say.
Not the drama.
Mindy and her folks earned it. If bro ain't happy, tell him to stay at home.
I mean,
Yeah, I think it's like if you don't want the gifts locked up, then stay at home and see if she opens yours and destroys them. Take that risk with your own stuff. Once bitten, twice shy, and wham, Last Christmas popped into my head seems a little fitting.
it does.
Yeah, once bitten, twice shy is a very, yeah.
Opie actually said, I don't know if she'd do it again. Some of the kids thought it was funny, and whilst we had several discussions, I feel it's best to take preventative measures.
Right.
The other kids are 8 and 5 and 7 and 10. Look, I think it's a great idea to do that then. Especially if you're telling me that some of the other kids thought it was funny.
Because they could all egg each other on. What if this year one of them wakes up, might not even be Mindy, and is just like, guys, should we do
Let's
the gift
do
thing
it.
again? And we'll go open all of our own gifts this year.
No.
Yeah, I
Or if
wouldn't.
they're like, well, last time somebody broke mine,
Yeah,
so let me get there first.
let me go poop on theirs.
You were a terrible child, weren't you?
No, I was actually lovely.
Drama. Am I the drama, Jamie, for
Yep.
leaving my son outside on Christmas Eve night?
Good Lord.
That-
What?
Doesn't sound great.
That doesn't sound great at all.
I
Unless,
mean-
even if your son is a puppy, that's
Unless your
not
son's
okay.
a snowman.
Yeah.
This is not okay.
I have 4 children and I'm pretty easygoing.
Sounds like it.
They don't have a lot of rules they have to abide by. It's simple. Be respectful, do your chores, and for the 2 teenagers, 15 and 16, be back before 10 p.m.
You know what? That does sound quite reasonable.
Yes. My 16-year-old son came home at 11 last night when the house was already locked up after missing about 10 calls from me. That's scary.
To have left 10 calls, like the anxiety that I would have if my child didn't come home after knowing that I've called them 10 times.
Yeah.
Is not a great feeling. So I can understand somebody's mindset, but are you telling me that because of that, you didn't let them in the house?
Well, that's redone.
That's rude.
He knocked to get in and I just called him back and told him he could sleep in the tree house and that there were already blankets up there and hopefully this would be a lesson to stick to curfew. He was apparently on a date with someone whom we haven't met and didn't realise his phone was set an hour behind.
Oh, what? As in, maybe the times changed?
Yeah.
Oh, to be fair, okay, so if he came home
Phones
at 11.
automatically change though. To me, that's all excuses. I told him he had the rest of the night in the cubby to reset his time and we'd see him in the morning.
Oh my god.
I opened the door at 6, nice and early, and he came in and went to bed, slept until lunchtime.
On
holding
Christmas?
holding his siblings up from opening their gifts because we do it all together as a family. Okay,
That's your fault,
I
though.
grew up like that though. I was the
Waiting.
little sibling waiting.
I know, but
It sucked.
I'm sorry, it's not son's fault. He had to sleep in a tree.
Oh no, I hear you, but like the parents created the situation of that.
Yeah, like take accountability, Dad. This is your fault.
Yeah.
This is Dad, right? I don't know. It just
I don't
sounded like
know.
a dad thing
Yeah,
to do.
I
I'm
know.
getting dad vibes.
He thanked everyone for his gifts and went back to sleep after lunch.
Oh.
My husband said I completely overreacted.
Okay, so
Could be
I
a
mean,
gay
could
couple.
be a gay couple.
It was an honest mistake and he's exhausted from not being able to sleep in the treehouse. He would have been able to. It was warm enough and I put enough bedding up there. Still, my husband says it was a complete a-hole move. Am I the drama?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the drama
Mate,
babe.
also-
on Christmas Day. Sorry, hang on. I'm prioritizing the wrong thing. On Christmas is particularly bad, but why would you let your kids sleep in a tree? I just don't get
Yeah,
that.
because I'm assuming like the curfew is set and the please answer your phone is done because you want to look after them and make sure he's safe and he's not out later than his age is appropriate for. So why would you then allow him to sleep on his own outside? I don't care if you have a treehouse.
The treehouse isn't freaking insulated.
I do think it shows a level of responsibility from a 16-year-old to then actually stay in the treehouse and not go off somewhere or go and try and find friends.
And then to come down, thank you for the gifts, like not be bitter about it and spend their entire Christmas sleeping. Imagine what a shit night they must have had in a treehouse.
Yeah.
A treehouse.
For, let's be honest, being an hour late.
Unless the treehouse is like the one from Bob's Burgers, this is totally unacceptable.
Yeah.
I'm calling a little bit of bullshit. I'm wanting some more information about really why were you an hour late? Because even if your phone was set an hour behind, you should still have picked up your phone to your parents. If there were 10 calls,
Yes.
you had the opportunity to do that.
Yeah, no, I do
Was something
agree.
said?
I do agree. Yeah, no, this is absolutely ridiculous. And like, this is not how you teach somebody a lesson. My parents had a shed in their back garden that was
That actually had some insulation.
that had a
and
little
I
bit of
would not be happy
insulation.
sleeping in that.
It was freezing in the winter. Like, even if you had like a full-on duvet, you would be freezing all night. There is no way that he was warm enough in there.
And clearly, nobody wants to sleep through the entirety of Christmas.
Yeah.
Like, he was actually exhausted. And what you've taught him is that when he messes up a little bit, you are going to severely punish him.
Yeah. Do you know what that makes kids do? Pull away more from their parents.
But this is quite apparent parenting.
Yeah,
I definitely think your husband is right in this situation.
Oh, hello.
You totally overreacted.
Hello, child, who is a minor. You are an hour late. Sleep outside on Christmas Eve.
And trust me, I would be shitting myself if I called my kid 10 times and they were home an hour later than they were supposed to be and I didn't hear from them. Oh, the methods of torture in my mind that would be coming up when I realised that they were okay, and then they served me some bullshit excuse like, oh, my phone was set an hour behind.
They'd
Is
know
this
they
the
were in
time?
trouble.
Is 11 p.m. the time to have that conversation?
Yeah.
On Christmas Eve in particular.
Can I also just say as well, no matter how angry I'd be at how worried they let me be by not answering the phone and being an hour late, the last thing I'd want to do if I've just spent the last hour stressing about my child's safety is leave them outside the house all night.
In
I
an
wouldn't be
unsafe
able to
position.
sleep. What if somebody broke into the garden? What if they were like, "F it, parents clearly don't care about me, they're leaving me outside on Christmas Eve, I'm going to go to a friend's house, I'm going to go wandering around," and then they didn't come home. Like, it's
just such a
just so
silly thing to do.
ridiculous. I can't get over this. Why
Like,
do you
I
even
have
need to
no-
ask if you're an asshole? Of course you
I
are.
have no hesitation with my badge on this one. It was a bad parenting move.
I want to read other people ripping them apart.
I would not be able to do this without speaking with you.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the fact that you did that and then the husband is like, oh wow, you did what? That was an overreaction.
Yeah.
Unless you did and they were like, okay, fine, but I think you're overreacting. Also, terrible parenting move.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
No.
Congrats. Next time he realised that he misses curfew, he probably won't bother coming home at all that night.
Yeah,
True, right?
yeah.
You are the drama for overreacting, handing down an inappropriate punishment and locking your child out the house on Christmas Eve. I believe in a different comment you've said that this was his first time missing curfew. You locked him out overnight for a first strike and you don't think that you overreacted.
Awful. Awful.
Terrible.
I wouldn't even want the cats to spend a night outside.
Right.
Like, do you know what I mean?
I wish we could set Prawn curfew. Sometimes he really doesn't come in time and we're like half an hour late to something.
How
'Cause we're
dare
like,
you,
"Ah."
mister? Would you like some treats? Love you.
Sure, do that to your child and they'll listen to you forever.
But honestly, a first strike, it would be a, you really fucking worried me there.
Do you know how
And
scared I
I'm more
was?
worried about the fact you didn't answer your phone than you're an hour late.
And this is not okay.
Next
exactly.
time,
Yeah.
phone on loud and you answer it, but this is the first time you've ever been late. Please do not do this again. It was horrible. Go to
This is the
bed.
conversation we're having right now. It's Christmas tomorrow, and so we're going to put this conversation on ice. But come the 27th, I'm going to have thought up some very creative grounding punishments for you, sir.
You're doing all the washing up after Christmas dinner.
That would be a great discipline. I love that. Yep. Multifunctional. Also, OB.
I'm pretty easygoing. That is not easygoing.
Absolutely not.
I read that and I was like, no way is this parent easygoing. Like, absolutely
no, to be
not.
fair, those rules at the beginning did sound quite easygoing.
Yes.
But the fact that if somebody breaks it, you
Yeah.
go to this level,
It's
like
the difference.
1,000. No.
Some people can have quite relaxed rules, but yeah, if you push them,
No. You are the drama.
yes, you overreacted. That's not a healthy solution. Depending on circumstances, it could have been dangerous.
Legit, like
exactly.
Christmas Eve.
Hypothermia. You can punish with depriving luxuries like a cell phone or eating cake. You shouldn't deprive necessities like food, sleep, or warmth. Thank you. Also, like, isn't shelter one of our number one needs? Behind food and water.
Do you know what I would be doing? I'd be saying, okay, because you've overspent this time and made me so freaking worried, the next time you want to go out, you have to come back at 9.
Yeah.
And if you can do
and
that,
I'm calling you every hour and you pick up.
if you can do that and you can respond and prove yourself to be trustworthy, it can be 10 o'clock again for the time after.
Also, you're the one who caused gift giving to get delayed by depriving
Right.
your son's sleep. That's not him. You should apologise for your misjudgment. I really hope OP can be one of those parents who swallows their pride and is like, no.
I messed up. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have done this. for
Because
sure.
there's so many parents who are like, no, because I'm the parent and you're the child. Even if I'm
big, you're
wrong,
small.
I
I'm
won't
right, you're wrong,
apologise.
and there's nothing that you can do about it. So let me get this right. You locked your minor child outside of the house on Christmas Eve, and then you have the audacity to blame him for delaying the opening of Christmas presents. You're very lucky your son loves you. I'd have called the cops on you. You are the drama. If somebody did call the cops, yeah, to be fair, I actually think like they definitely would have knocked on the door.
Yeah.
Like they wouldn't have just been like,
They would have
deal with
questioned.
it. Like they'd have been
well,
like,
yeah.
your son is outside in the cold.
He says you're not letting him in. Is this
What's
true?
going on?
Yeah. I can appreciate how horrible it must be for a parent to not be able to get hold of their child beyond the time they were meant to get home. I can't imagine that level of fear that she must have felt. However, you telling them off and being like, oh my God, I can't believe you're home late. I couldn't get hold of you. I was so worried. Holy shit. They're not going to resent you for that because they're probably going to expect to be told off. Probably coming home with tail between his legs, blah, blah, blah. This kid, she's going to be lucky if he doesn't resent her forever for this. I think it's going to be such a core memory of like, oh, when I was 16 years old, I slept in a treehouse and it ruined Christmas.
Yeah, this is absolutely horrible behaviour.
Yeah, and next Christmas might not be fun and probably won't be good vibes for him.
If you'd done this, I'd have been so pissed off at you as my co-parent.
Yeah.
I'd have been so mad.
I think we would have needed like therapy to discuss the
I would
differences in our
not trust
parenting.
you
Yeah.
to make decisions.
And I would respect why you wouldn't. Can I give OP a mouldy brownie badge?
Yeah. bad parenting move for sure. Hey, this is your podcast too. You don't need to like ask for permission. You give out your badges.
I did.
Brownie badge for you. Boop. Drama. All right, Jamie, you ready for our final submission?
I
This is
am.
from a fellow Peach.
Juicy.
Ending off our Christmas extravaganza
Woo!
of a podcast episode. I hope you're enjoying it, my loves.
If you too would like to submit your own Am I the Drama post for us to maybe react to on the podcast, you can do so over on shaabaandjamie.com on the podcast page. Thank you.
Something very exciting is coming up in the new year about that. Watch this space.
Oh my God.
This one is from Teetotal Man.
Would I be the drama? You love a would I be the
I
drama?
do. I really do.
Would I be the drama if I didn't let my boyfriend meet my family at Christmas?
Ooh.
This one is one of those ones that I'm like context dependent. Could
Yeah,
be, could not
could
be.
go either way.
Yeah.
Let's see. OP says, I'm a 24-year-old man. I live at home with my parents who are 61 and 61. A man
Nice.
and a woman. And my older brother, a 26-year-old man.
Cool.
We visit our extended family on Boxing Day every year. We have a very big family, including lots of kids, and it's basically the only time that we see each other.
Right.
Wow, that must be one hell of a catch-up.
Yes.
Last year, my dad had 3 large beers during the gathering, and although he wasn't close to being drunk, he'd had just enough alcohol that I could tell he'd been drinking. Just
Okay.
being more sociable, making more jokes, that kind of thing.
Right.
When it was time to go home, I expressed that I wasn't comfortable with my dad driving us back because of the
Ooh.
alcohol. I mean...
Yeah, 3 large beers.
Sure.
I'm sure he was at least close to the limit, if not over it.
I think it does, like, it matters right as to
Oh, when you drink it and like your body, but honestly, I've been brought up on the rule of like
If you've
even
had a drink,
any
even
drink,
just one beer,
yeah,
don't drive. Babe.
Yeah.
It's just not wise. Better to be safe than sorry, right?
absolutely.
However, the rest of my family continued to get in the car, completely brushed me off as if I hadn't said anything, and acted as though there was nothing that they could do.
Right.
My mum can drive, and I hadn't noticed her drink anything. My brother can also drive, and he is teetotal.
Okay.
This is so bizarre.
Yeah, I've honestly never seen a situation where the one person who drank.
Let's willingly put ourselves and
Yeah.
our entire loved ones at risk. Yeah, great
God.
idea. What? I believe they're both insured on the car that we were using as well. In the end, I got in the car with them because it was that or be stranded at my cousin's place. Thankfully, there were no incidents on the drive back, but I felt unsafe and completely disrespected.
Yeah.
I can totally appreciate you feeling that way. The only time that I think it would be okay is if your dad had returned to a level where he was really, really very, very normal. Like you could tell
Stone
that
cold
alcohol
sober.
was in no way affecting his ability to do things. Like if you chucked a ball, like, I would genuinely have chucked a ball or something at his head and been like, we didn't pick that up, babe.
What if
So
he's
no.
just really bad at catching?
But also, no, I just wouldn't. Like,
No,
knowing that someone
yeah.
has drive, like, you've got other family there who
Yeah.
haven't and who can drive.
Yeah, it was
Oh.
a silly, irresponsible
You
decision.
continue. This is irritating me.
This year will be the first time my partner, a 27-year-old man of 2 years, joins us for Christmas.
Oh, cute.
We're long distance. He lives on the other side of the world.
Wow.
Not just a country, the world. He's staying with us over winter, and we've been really looking forward to doing Christmas together. That's really cute. He's teetotal like me and also doesn't drive, and I don't want to put him in an uncomfortable or unsafe situation.
Sure.
Would I be the drama if I told my dad I would refuse to go to the family gathering unless either he didn't drink or my teetotal brother drove us home instead? If we didn't go, it might be years before the next opportunity for my partner to meet my family.
Interesting. So would I be the drama
Right.
for not letting my boyfriend meet my family at Christmas? I totally understand your want to...
Be safe.
Yeah, and to keep your partner safe.
Yeah.
I also will say, and this is no disrespect to your partner whatsoever, he's got nothing to do with this. Even if it was just you repeating what you were doing before, I think think you have every right to be like, hey family, before we go today, I just wanted to let you know that last year I wasn't very happy.
Yeah, I didn't feel safe.
Yeah.
And I'm sure as my parents, you would not want that to happen.
Like, can you not understand that drink driving is a bit of a problem? Let's try and avoid that with all means possible. If dad has had a drink, someone else should drive. It's just that simple. If you're drinking, don't get behind the wheel. Can we just agree on that before we go? And if they say no, then it is entirely your prerogative as a 24-year-old to not go or to make your own way there. Because remember, that is also another option. And obviously it is resource dependent, but like say that there are Ubers around.
Or public transport of some
form
kind,
of,
which does start back up on Boxing Day.
Well, that's what I'm saying, if you're going for Christmas. I'm assuming this was Christmas Day. Oh, it's Boxing Day.
It's Boxing Day they spent together.
So I would just find a different way, ideally, to go if you're feeling that uncomfortable. But really, a family that is loving and trustworthy would say, I get what you're saying. I'm sorry. That was probably a bad move on our part. We'll be sure to not drive if we're drinking.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I completely agree about like this. It's almost not in a harsh way because it's lovely that your boyfriend is spending Christmas with you for the first time. But the issue of you not feeling safe and not wanting to get in the car with someone who's had alcohol, it's irrelevant whether your boyfriend is there or not. This would be fair of you to kind of put down a, hey, I really don't feel comfortable being driven by you unless you can guarantee me that somebody who hasn't drunk or had anything to drink will be driving us home. And that's it. You can say that regardless of whether your boyfriend's going to be there or not.
That's what I'm saying. And I think the reason I wanted to point that out is like, you don't have to only put those safety measures when other people that you love are involved. Like, love yourself as much. Give yourself that same respect. And, you know, like, it's a perfectly reasonable ask.
Honestly, I would do the same thing.
Yeah. I do think that jumping to saying, like, you therefore are not allowed to drink, Dad, is one, not going to go down very well. And two, probably a little bit extreme, especially if your brother is also teetotal and can drive. A good thing with all of these situations, when you feel like you could be coming across in somewhat of an antagonistic way, is to concentrate on how you feel. I felt uncomfortable. I felt unsafe. And it would make me feel so much better this year if we could already pre-plan something where bro who doesn't drink can drive us home. Yeah. Do you think that's
or
possible?
Just generally the person who drives hasn't had a drink.
Yes.
And whether that turns out to be your dad by not drinking or your brother because he's teetotal, it doesn't matter. But just the person behind the wheel has not consumed alcohol.
Absolutely. I think focusing on the I feel and then not putting in demands like, therefore you shouldn't drink, Dad, letting them come to that conclusion if that's the thing that they want to do is always
it's less antagonistic.
Yeah, it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Yeah,
for sure.
But will not be the drama.
For sure. Okay, these last two are easy. We had like a spicy middle to this one.
The one before this was very dramatic but didn't require a long discussion because it was so obviously awful.
And same with this one, babe. With conviction, you are not in the wrong for doing this. I think it's really brave of you to be putting yourself first, and it's not just you, but like the safety of your family above I don't know what, like just protocol that your dad would typically drive.
Yeah, it's bizarre. It's like if I had a group of friends and at one event the drunk one insisted on driving, I would be like, no, we're not doing this. I
understand if, like, for example, it's a mum 61 years old also, maybe she doesn't like driving in the dark. Cool. Maybe it's a really long drive and your brother just can't be bothered. Also cool. Maybe your dad is just one who normally does those drives. I get it. But if you're drinking, don't drive. Like, be safe. Understand that that's just, it's a law for a reason.
If the protocol is that your dad drives, then he can't drink or you need to stay overnight. It's just not worth the risk. It really isn't. And like drink driving incidences really go up over the holidays because people get more relaxed and people drink more and they drive to visit family, and it's just horrific.
Especially because it is entirely avoidable. And brownie badge for UOP for
I agree.
Really putting this out there and being brave enough to speak up, because most people or many people wouldn't. And that's when bad things happen.
Yeah, and I hope that your family can learn from this and adjust their behaviour.
And shifting to a happier mood, I also hope you have a wonderful time with your boyfriend.
For your first Christmas.
That's a big
exciting.
deal. Have a great Christmas. Have a great Boxing Day. It all sounds really great.
Woo woo.
Aww.
Aw, Bobby.
Thank you so much, Peaches, for joining us on today's Christmas episode.
It's been wonderful. Happy holidays.
Enjoyed it.
Yes.
Did you enjoy the length?
The longer.
Do you like it long? Guys,
I was
do you like
going to
it long?
say, and then I decided that was inappropriate, Shaaba. But you just had to say it.
If you did enjoy this episode, it would mean the world for us. It would be a great Christmas present, if you will. If you could maybe subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube.
Yes.
Or rate the podcast.
If you're over on a podcast platform, you can also rate individual episodes, which would be super helpful for us.
As well as the podcast overall.
Absolutely. And don't forget to head over to shaabaandjamie.com to submit your own little Am I the Drama stories if you want us to react to them on the podcast.
For sure. This is the last time that we'll be posting here on this channel pre-Christmas. We might be doing our normal Christmas stream. It might end up being a Boxing Day stream this year.
It might.
I really want it to be a Christmas stream. We'll see.
Working out the logistics.
I know, there's a lot of driving involved, but wishing you all a wonderful day, and we will catch you on the flip side.
Yeah, see you in the new year.
Be kind
Much love.
and have a great day.
Bye.